Alright, I'm back. Quite a bit warmer. I had a spring break trip, went down to Florida with the family. Kids' first time out of the state. So that was exciting. Came back to a broken shock on my work car, so replaced that. Just seemed one thing after another. We had a bad windstorm, ice storm in Michigan, so I ratchet strapped the sides of the camper to the frame. See, this is just sitting up on jack stands back here, so I think I'm going to take one of them out. Where's my gloves? Yeah, see? I'm gonna make 2 of these unless I can find something like this online. Let me yeet that out of here. See ya. Sorry about the wiggling. I'll show you. I put this one on. Gonna drill a hole through it still. I also put that one on over there. No welder. And warmed up my cup. Hopefully I get lots of stuff in it. Debris to drink. I like that. I know there's an easier way to do this because I've watched YouTube videos where they took the whole thing down to the frame, rebuilt the walls, and then put them back on. Yeah. I have a rust encapsulator from Westwood to do the whole frame in, but underneath these, just to get this board on, I'm hitting it with this old trash paint that I have. Got me a little treat, a little Easter treat. These things are significantly smaller. you know, than the eggs and the trees. Make the bag the same price, but the product is half the size. All I'm gonna do is eat 2 of them. Delicious. And nutritious. Not really. So now I got all my spots marked. Drill the holes and then attach that one. Okay. I'm gonna try and do some dumb stuff. That'll hold it somewhat. I gotta put the other 2x4 that goes over top of the here is gotta be bolted with this too. This is why this one's a 7.5 inch bolt, I think, instead of a 4 or 4.5, whatever I bought. I forget. Cool. Got her. Okay, it's bolted front and back. That one's not tightened down all the way because I got to run it through another board that goes on top of it. But also the bottom one, or the back one cut, but I can't until I weld that outrigger on there. Yay! Alright, back out here again today. On my half day off. First I'm gonna get that cleaned up. Weld the gusset on there. Get the outrigger on there. I gotta drill a hole in this outrigger and a hole in that outrigger, and I can put the other floor plate down, or the wall plate. And then this one on top, spanning the two, like I did on that side. And I'll have the wall. And then I can either start the front wall plate and or the back to get this thing back to square and level. Let's do it. Alright, now I got both those bolts upside down. And I'm going to span the 2x4 across And give it a little knock. There's some overhang there, we have some overhang there. See, off that outrigger, and then the bolt's gonna come right up through both of them. And then move over here. Same thing. And the bolt come right up through both of them. On this side is where I'm thinking about putting the fuel tank for the diesel heater, and I'll show you later on what I have planned. I believe it's a 14-gallon tank, and I don't know if I'm going to mount it over top of this, but it's got to be inside the cabinet. I don't want to have to bring fuel in through the camper to fuel the tank either. So I have a fill neck, and I bought a marine like flush mounted filler for the outside. So I'll be able to pull up to the pump and fill the diesel tank from the outside of the camper. It's a vented tank, stainless steel. And then I'll probably mount the diesel heater inside there as well, and then have the vent, have the tank and the heater unit itself separate. And I'll probably line it with foam to try and keep down the smell. I'll have a vent inside here to go to the outside, so that space will be vented. But yeah. Bingo. How am I going to get this one in? Maybe I could take off some of that back stuff because nothing is attached. If you look, these boards stop right there. They don't even go to the other wall. So the only thing really holding it is a clamp on the piece of aluminum over there on this side. So now we get a board across there in the back. Determine where the back's going to be. The Pathfinder on it. Yeah. The Pathfinder logo. Yep. My wife has a Cricut machine, so I'm going to see if she can print out almost, if we can, in that exact font. Would be cool.
Would be super cool.
And then stick it back on the back again. Even though nothing's going to be original, we'll keep the name. I think that'd be cool. It's still going to be a Pathfinder. They do not like that. Okay. Alright, just gonna clean up and that'll be it.